No, we're good. With education comes a stronger economy, all right? And that brings opportunity. So people are looking towards their economic dreams with a job, maybe at a firm. And a job at a firm is the group here that did the rapping. Okay, well, nobody from the original group laughed at that. That was, thanks. Okay, well, that's all. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. I didn't realize why the ball was getting bigger, and then it hit me.
Okay, so this is the first graph that we did. I hope you're like running through that last question in your head, like saying, what would you pick, salesperson or salesman, police officer, policeman? So this is the tally of the survey that we did, and it's for the females, what most of the females would say. So you have police officer versus policeman, and their flight attendant versus stewardess, and it goes on like that. And then on the next graph, that would be what the male said, and you can see how most people vary dramatically. It's my graph.
The mother, I
Typically, women's blood should be equal.
What about your house?
My house, well, I live at my dad's and my mom's separately, so it's equal.
Okay, just to say also, all these graphs were made from surveys that we took. We did 51 surveys, and these are the results we got from all of that. So as you can see, the question was, women should hold the door for men the same as men should hold the door for women. And as you can see, both genders agree that this is true, but you still have some subconscious sexism in there where there's males disagree and females disagree that, males should hold the door for females. Okay, as you can see, sorry about the music. This is, the question was, or the statement was, women compared to men tend to have a better sense of what's right and wrong, and this is obviously a stereotype, and about, almost all the males that we surveyed disagreed with this, and a few females agreed. So there is still some slight subconscious sexism in there, so.
I think it's more about the physical disability. People who have any kind of physical disability, they're pregnant women or old men or women, they should all be saved at the same point of time, and then probably the ones that can actually help themselves. So.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I believe that it definitely depends on the situation and the type of disaster, and if men have a higher advantage of escaping without any help, then I believe women should receive assistance.
Yes, women and children, it's just how I've been brought up.
If you didn't know, that was Ethan.
As I was saying before, this was the world map of the countries that showed the inequality and equality. The countries in Africa and then India and stuff, as you can see, have a darker color to them, and the reason why that is because they have a greater gap between women and men. And areas that are more developed and are lighter colored, rather, the gap, generation gap between them, between men and women, is much less. So this map just kind of represents that, and that was done, a study done, so that we used. So.
In conclusion, the planet we live in is shared by 7 billion people. Only 50% of our population receives the fair treatment, though. Males have been the dominant force in the battle of the sexes for centuries. And despite certain periods in history, women today continue to endure the injustice of sexism. Ancient Egyptian civilizations considered women nearly equal to men. Although not perfect, the Egyptians set an example for future generations and encouraged gender equity. Unfortunately, this practice was not very popular, and other civilizations encouraged power of the man. Contrasting to today, Egypt has plunged into injustice. Women are treated as dogs and are used as objects for men to take advantage of. The land we share is controlled by an over-dominant 50%, leaving the rest to fight for survival. Hate may not be a trait of most, however, hate stems from prejudice and discrimination. A psychological phenomenon known as group polarization strengthens one belief in a given topic when exposed to continuous discussion within a group sharing common thoughts and opinions. Conformity is nearly unavoidable, and a culture is definitely contagious. With the exception of the United States' encouragement of diversity, other nations around the world have little to no freedom. Speak out against the system and you go to jail. You would be polarized into hate and your mind brainwashed. It's a sad reality. Society is not here to help because every day it's bending our thoughts into believing and supporting something we insist on fighting against. Society is the mastermind of its subjects, and it's hard to believe that we aren't truly in control of our own minds. That's the problem. People don't realize they're doing something morally wrong. People grow up in a society built upon injustice and see it as normal, everyday life. Geneva Johnson said, "We need to teach people how to hate in order for them to learn how to love." Because 90% of our mind is unconscious, we don't realize that what we're doing 90% of the time. How can we fix something we aren't even aware of? We may consciously believe we're just. However, underlying processes would prove otherwise. We must work together to help force those unjust beliefs to the forefront of our brain and educate society that we are wrong. We are not equal and we are not free just yet.
And if anyone's interested in seeing the information on the poster board, you can come see one of us. And a special thanks to Toaster for all the help.